Yeah, hi everyone, brand stalwarts. Thanks really for this opportunity to tell you. Um, I just have got 10 minutes, so I'll squeeze it past through. I'll use some keywords. Me and my team are there out there, so please feel free to connect to us. And you will hear some common terms which we are hearing right now in the panel, right? So we're on the right track. Yeah, so we'll talk about these challenges in growth, OpEx, as well as the customer experience, solutions to the channel. We'll have talk about a little bit of why Ayata, and the surprise which, my host just spoke about, right? Right, so here we have the basic challenges for your growth. And the first one I would like to really pay attention is the fragmented demand, right? As a fashion players, I'm sure you are facing this. You call it in different names, but that's what you're facing. And it's why it arises because of unpredictable and scattered customer behavior. It results also from a lot of your competitors coming in and disrupting your business, like D2C players, for an example, fast fashion as a competitor, competition to your traditional fashion players. Third is the different platforms, the technology innovations happening, right? That's also bringing and spiking different demands from the same segment of customers which we are hearing. And the fourth, of course, is the geopolitical reasons, right? You have the COVID or you have the climate change and etc. So that's where the fragmented demand comes in, right? And it's a real challenge for growth. That's because you need to cater to that. And the one more, as I said, I'm short of time, so the other one which I would really want you to focus on is the out of stock or stock latency, right? I go to a Zudio store and most of the time I find, medium is not available. L or XL are available, right? So that's one of the, factor affecting your growth heavily. And the reason why it happens, my understanding or our understanding is the lack to the visibility of the nth store level stock that you do not have real time. So you need to think how, as a brand, you need to achieve that. The last one, which I have to, really point out, is the conversion ratio. Our statistics says around 10.4% curd, addition. Out of that, 79% abandonment. Out of that, around 30% because of, confusion on fit and size, and 55% because of the shipping cost. That's the statistics talking about, right? That's really a deterrent to your revenue growth. Others are, self-explainable. I'm leave it to your thoughts. Right. In your OpEx growth, we already heard about, overstock inventory. Our data says overstock inventory in fashion is as much as around 30%. That's what we're talking about overstock inventory. And the overstock market from retail and e-commerce is around 50 to 70,000, INR. That's what we're talking about annually. That's a kind of overstock market. So generally brands, because of different reasons, for example, price due to carrying cost, price due to storage cost, you have a brand value going down if you're more available and you are selling on discount, for an example. You have got sustainability causes also from the government. So brands are sometimes not able to liquidify, and they are basically selling on markdown price, which is also helping the hampering your trust factor with the customers. So that's also happening on the overstock inventory. Manual processes, I'm sure you must be facing these challenges in manual processes. Our experience says around 30% of productivity goes down if you do not look into automating certain processes. For example, return, merchandising, assortment, and we also heard about Nitin talking about just-in-time inventories and all those stuff, right? So that's really deterrent. Siloed systems, really, we talked about that in the last session also, and believe me, I've not prepared these points after this session. I had it before it. We have been doing a lot of integrations. We are having integrations around the world from the retailers, because you have invested your effort, money, time on systems, but if the systems do not talk to each other, you have overall poor efficiency output. You have the departments not talking to each other in tandem, and so forth and so on, right? So that's also a big deterrent. The CX blockers, if we talk about brand consistency, that's given. Any customer looking, please believe it's an outside-in view of your brand. Your brand needs to be visible as one in terms of aesthetics, in terms of price. We talked about channels. I had all the questions from the ladies on this table about pricing, discount. Believe me, that's given. As a customer, I want that, right? and I will not want iPhone and Android displaying different price to me. And even the logo, the size, everything needs to be same. So, today's world, and we'll see a quick solution to this. Heterogeneous path to purchase, about 71% of the Indian fashion customers, they browse online before they go to a store, 71%. I started my career around 12 years back in India. It was around 51 to 52%. It has gone to 71% today, right? Over a post-purchase gap, that's very important. How are you following your brand? Are you a part of your customer's lifestyle? Through digitally only you can be, most of the cases, because we are all digitally enabled, empowered customers now. So are you part of that? If you're not, then you'll be losing repeat purchase from your customers. Once in 3 months, that's a good statistics for repeat purchase from your customers. And tech savvy, it's explainable, right? The demands come in same-day delivery, 2 hours delivery, seamless return, try in the store, buy at home, and et cetera, right? Those are the choices. These are the main deterrents which you're talking about. Let's talk about solutions quickly. Yeah, so very important slide. I would request if you can take a snippet of it. Demand sensing. I can talk the whole day on demand sensing, right? How does it differ from demand forecasting and et cetera, right? We can talk about it, but basically you need to have the data integrated from at your store level, POS level, and mine it with the data from your historical sales growth, and you can then talk about demand sensing. This is the only way, believe me, only way you can attack forecasted, fragmented demand, right? Talk about just-in-time inventory. I will not bore you again. You just heard it. This is the way to go forward. Just to give an example, another company who is actually trying it out a lot is Zara. Zara is trying just-in-time inventory a lot, right? So that's the way to go forward. Basically, in one-liner, you don't have to set a standard inventory buffer when you talk about just-in-time inventory. When you talk about inventory management, of course, there's a lot of process at the back end, which you heard from Nitin. I'll not repeat that. Predictive analytics. Trust me, you just cannot. Many people call it AI, ML, but at the base, it's data mining, predictive analytics. So way to do it is, inventory optimization, demand forecasting, right? Industry data says you can increase your inventory carrying cost, decrease your inventory carrying cost by 20%. You can increase your demand forecasted by 15% if you're doing it right? And there are, again, examples from the industry which you are doing these kind of, data. For example, I have the ladies from Ajio and Myntra. Myntra, they are doing, a lot of predictive analytics to talk about personalized recommendations. And their data shows that they're increasing by 35% of their sales. And the last one, which I would really, request you to focus on the DOM, distributed order management, right? Believe me, that's the only way you can go real-time ATP, available to promise. No other system, my small experience around 27 years in the industry tells me no system can help you with the real-time ATP. You have to adopt a DOM. Depends on your business requirements, of course. Yeah, so this is some of the solutions to your OpEx deterrents. You definitely want to have an adaptive inventory, AI-powered adaptive inventory. Some of them we have talked about. Me and my team are there, we can talk about it. We have, the asynchronous integration. I have my colleague from Forever New, Zahid, in the room, and you can ask him. We have completed an asynchronous project for him, and he will tell you, the advantage of doing asynchronous. It's really great, right? So you cannot go forward without asynchronous. Right, and there are a lot of examples. I'm very short of time. I would love to have given a lot of brand examples. But one thing, please, look into it. Brands who are not looking into unified commerce, look into unified commerce. Look at your customer, profiling CD. You should integrate CDP, Customer Data Platform, and CRM. That's what you should do to have a holistic customer journey view. Otherwise, you will be always working at the 0th level visibility or a no visibility zone. And you cannot craft the right engagement, right campaign for your customers. And CO2e tracking is coming up extremely high. As per our limited knowledge, government might going to impose some regulations along it, right? Why Ayatas? Just 2 slides on this. I'll not bore you too much. We have got a unique concept called Commerce Connected. If you see there are the 6 channels: technology, data, people, experience, process, and channels. These are the 6 channels. We integrate it and we give you those solutions, those experiences which we had talked about. And how do we do it? We have a merchant maturity model. Our study for most of the Indian brands says that the maturity model you are at, except people like Ajio, Myntra, Aditya Builders of the world, mostly of them are at the level 3. So we go and study completely your system, of course with your permission, and we'll tell you that which maturity model you are in, where you are. And that's the surprise coming up. We are offering a free business design workshop for the first 10 brands that are registering with us in this event. What we'll do is that we'll access your current state of business. We will understand your growth aspirations or OpEx challenges or customer experience goals. We'll leverage those Ayata commerce frameworks to design a solution roadmap for you. And then, of course, we'll jointly define the KPIs. So if you're interested, please, you can scan that code, and we'll take it from there. With that, I really thank you, the audience. And my team is there out there. All my colleagues, my innovation director is sitting right there. My product innovation head is there. So really thank you for this opportunity to my host also, and hope that we'll touch base and we'll add some value to your business. Thank you so much. Take care.